शुरू करेंगे. So today we'll discuss about water soluble vitamin. Okay, so first, what are the water soluble vitamins? When we had the last class of the fat soluble vitamin, before discussing about the fat soluble vitamins, we discuss about what are the vitamins. Okay, then what are the fat soluble vitamins, what are the water soluble vitamins, what are their different characteristics and type, we have discussed in general in previous class when we discussed about the fat soluble vitamin. Okay, so today we'll again take some of the important characteristic of the water soluble vitamin. The main difference between the fat and water soluble vitamin is the fat soluble vitamin is not required in your day, is daily, means they are fat soluble, so they simply get stored inside their body, although they are the essential organic compound which are needed to support the several metabolic process, but they are not required on, you don't need to take them on daily basis. Okay, because they can be stored in a body for some time, okay, from week to 10 to 15 days or even months. But in the case of water soluble vitamin, because they are soluble in water, uh, so they easily get absorbed, and the same way they readily get excreted through the urine. Okay, so these are the group of compounds which are actually required to be taken daily in your diet. Okay, and all these water soluble vitamin, when we'll talk in detail about the B complex and the C, then we will see all those enzymes except vitamin C. They actually the active coenzymes, means they are the organic component of the enzymes. Okay, or they actually binds with the enzymes of as a coenzyme, which catalyze several important metabolic the biochemical reactions inside the body. So we will take one by one. Okay, so first, as I have already told, the water soluble vitamins are carried to the body tissue, but they are not stored in the body since they are eliminated in the urine. So we need the continuous supply of the water soluble vitamin in our diet. So vitamin B and C, they are the water soluble vitamins. In the vitamin B, actually they are also known as a B complex, because there are several vitamins in the category of vitamin B, like vitamin B1, B2, B3, B5, B6, B7, B9 and B12. Okay, and then vitamin C, that is also known as ascorbic acid. So we'll first see a broad classification of the water soluble vitamins. Okay, so they are basically categorized into two groups. One is known as a B complex group, another one is known as a non B complex group. So the vitamin C is a vitamin of a non B complex group, and all other enzymes from B1 to B12, they comes under the B complex group. Okay, so this B complex group is further divided into two groups of vitamins. One is the energy releasing and another one is the hematopoietic. So energy releasing, in the category of energy releasing, which includes vitamin B1, B2, B3, B5, B6 and B7, they are the active coenzymes which are associated with the metabolic reaction which is involved in the release of the energy. Okay, and then this two vitamin B, like B9 and B12, folic acid and cobalamin, they both are the vitamin B which is associated with the hematopoietic activity or the blood synthesis of the blood cell. Okay, so this is the broad classification of the water soluble vitamin. Now we'll take vitamin, all these vitamins that I have listed one by one. Okay, so the very first one is the thiamine, which is also known as vitamin B1. Okay, so it is actually have two rings. One, this is one. It consists of, or it contains one pyrimidine ring, and another one is the thiazole ring. Okay, so this thiamine, when it get converted into the thiamine pyrophosphate, which is also known as TPP. So this thiamine pyrophosphate is the active form of thiamine, means this TPP is actually act as a coenzyme. Okay, so the activation of thymine into the thymine pyrophosphate, or the conversion of thymine into the thymine pyrophosphates, mainly occurs inside the liver, uh, and it involved in the energy releasing reaction of the carbohydrate metabolism. Okay, in the glycolysis, what happened? Your glucoses get converted into the pyruvate. Okay, but that pyruvate cannot directly go into the TCA cycle for energy release. Okay, so it needs to be converted from 3-carbon pyruvate to the 2-carbon acetyl coenzyme A. So the conversion of the pyruvate to the acetyl coenzyme A is catalyzed by one of the enzyme which is known as pyruvate dehydrogenase complex. Okay, and in this enzyme pyruvate dehydrogenase complex, the thymine pyrophosphate or TPP is a coenzyme. Okay, so this is one of the biochemical function of the vitamin B1. Now the deficiency. Okay, so actually the thymine is present on the outer layer of the rice grain. Okay, so whenever we used to have a polished rice, the polished rice is basically a rice in which the upper layer of grain is removed. Okay, so if we always used to have a polished rice only, then it caused the thymine deficiency, because we are taking the rice which doesn't have a thymine at all. Okay, then the intake of alcohol also cause the deficiency of the thiamine, because chronic alcoholism actually reduce the absorption of thiamine in the body. Then during the pregnancy and lactation, there is an increased demand of this enzyme. So deficiency manifestation of thiamine also occur in the pregnant or lactating women. Okay, then there is a one enzyme which is known as thyminase. Okay, thyminase is actually an enzyme that inactivate thymine by breaking the thiazole ring. Okay, so it is present in the raw fish meat. So if someone used to have a some South Asian countries and some people used to prefer some of the raw fish as such, they used to have with sauces and all. Okay, so this more consumption of raw fish also leads to the deficiency of B1. Okay, then on other clinical manifestation of thyminase, one of the deficiency that lead to a known disease is known as beriberi. Okay, there is 3 type of beriberi: wet, dry, and infantile beriberi. Okay, in wet beriberi, actually the person have edema, means puffiness or swelling due to the fluid retention, and then weak heart muscle. And in the dry beriberi, there is a degeneration of the peripheral nerves and the weak muscle. And in infant, okay, this is a type of beriberi which actually affect the infants or the young ones. Okay, then what are the dietary source of thiamine? So the dietary source of thiamine is a rice with a brown rice, okay, or the rice with the upper okay. Then beans, legumes, seed, meat, fish, egg, whole grain, nuts. Okay, these are some of the, or some green vegetables, asparagus, spinach. Okay, these all are the good source of thiamine. Now, another vitamin, that is vitamin B2 or riboflavin. Okay, so when we talk about the structure of the riboflavin, basically it has one isoalloxane ring. This is the isoalloxane ring which is attached with ribitol. Okay, so this isoalloxane ring, when attached with the ribitol, it forms the riboflavin. Okay, so this vitamin B2 or the riboflavin is not heat sensitive, means heat is stable. Even if you increase the temperature, this won't get distorted. But this vitamin is photosensitive. Okay, when it is exposed to the light or in the UV rays, it get distorted. Okay, so there are two active coenzyme forms of riboflavin. Means riboflavin as such doesn't act as a coenzyme. Okay, when it get converted into the flavin mononucleotide or flavin adenine dinucleotide, means FMN or FAD, these two are the active coenzyme forms of riboflavin. Okay, so this riboflavin is get converted into the flavin mononucleotide with by the enzyme flavokinase, and this flavin mononucleotide is get converted into the flavin adenine dinucleotide in the presence of FAD. synthetase. Okay, so this is these two are the FAD and FAD and FMN. They are the active forms of the um, coenzyme of riboflavin, and these activation occurs in the intestine and liver. So now the biochemical function. Okay, so this ring, okay, this isohaloxane ring, it actually serves as an acceptor of two hydrogen atoms with electron. Okay, so they are actually, this is the oxidized form of the flamin. FMN or FAD is the oxidized form, or it when it accepts the hydrogen atoms in the electron, it become reduced. So FMNH2 and FADH2 is the reduced form. This reduced form actually participates in the oxidation reduction reaction of the electron transport chain, okay, or the electron transport reaction that occurs in the inner membrane of the mitochondria. Okay, so this is the biological function of riboflavin. Now the deficiency, as I have told, this is heat stable but photosensitive. Okay, so any person who is receiving any kind of phototherapy, okay, then uh, so because of the phototherapy, the riboflavin get distorted in the presence of light. So deficiency symptoms or the deficiency of the riboflavin may occur. Then chronic alcohol intake also cause the deficiency of riboflavin. And during the pregnancy and lactation, there is increased demand of riboflavin. So these women also show the sign of the deficiency of the riboflavin. Now there is clinical manifestation of the riboflavin deficiency. There are these three diseases, that is glossitis, okay, which is characterized by smooth and purple colored tongue, okay. Then another is the dermatitis, which is basically the inflammation of the cells. So in the deficiency of riboflavin, the inflammation of the facial skin is more particular, okay. Then cillosis, this is actually the fissure at the corner of the mouth, okay, or some uh, means pus cells forms on both the corners of the mouth. So these are the some of the deficiency of the riboflavin or vitamin B2. So now what are the dietary sources? So the the animal origins like liver, dried yeast, egg, whole milk, fish, okay, they all are a very good source of riboflavin, okay. Now vitamin B3. Vitamin B3 is also known as niacin, or niacin is also known as a vitamin B3. So niacin or nicotinic acid is basically a pyridine derivative. This is the pyridine ring, okay, and this is the niacin. So this is basically the derivative of the pyridine, okay, and the amide form of niacin is known as niacinamide or nicotinamide, okay. So they are synthesized inside the body from the tryptophan. So from conversion of tryptophan to niacin is triggered by the vitamin B6, okay. This is the active form of niacin. So niacin, when it gets converted into the NAD, nicotinamide adenine dinucleotide, or nicotinamide adenine dinucleotide phosphate, then it is the active coenzyme form of the niacin, okay, that involved in the oxidation reduction process, okay. So they as riboflavin, they also accept the hydrogen ion plus the electrons. So from oxidize, they get converted from the oxidized to the reduced form, and then it enters into the oxidation reduction reaction in several metabolism of like in carbohydrate metabolism, also in lipids, as well as in the protein metabolism, okay. Now the cause of niacin deficiency, okay. So the people whose staple diet include more maize, okay, like in the African countries, some of the African countries. So in the maize, although niacin is present, but that is in the bound form. So they used to take the niacin in the bound form, which is biologically unavailable. Okay, that's why the people whose staple diet includes a lot of maize, they used to have the niacin deficiency. Pregnant and lactating women also have the more increased demand of niacin, so they also used to show the symptom. And then chronic alcoholism and vitamin B6 deficiency also cause the niacin deficiency, because vitamin B6 is a coenzyme that actually converts the tryptophan into the niacin. Okay, that's why if a person have the vitamin B6 deficiency, it also shows the symptoms of the vitamin D3 or the niacin deficiency. So up to here it is clear to everyone. Vitamin B1, vitamin B2 and B3.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so we'll go to the next. Now this is the deficiency manifestation of the niacin. Okay, so the clinical condition, which is known as the pellagra. Okay, it is characterized by three D symptoms, that is dermatitis, diarrhea, and dementia. Okay, so the person who have the niacin deficiency, they develop the pellagra, which have a bright the dermatitis means a red color rashes. Okay, which later turns very dark color. Okay, at disfiguration of the skin. Then diarrhea, it may result into mild to very severe diarrhea with blood or mucus in the stool. And then dementia, which involve the nervous system irritability, delirium, and poor memory. Okay. Now the dietary source. So the upper layer of the rice, the dried yeast, liver, peanuts, whole cereals, legumes, meat, and fish. Fish, they all are the very good source of niacin. Now, vitamin B6, that is pyridoxine. Okay, so the pyridoxine, which is also known as a vitamin 6, it is basically collectively represent three compounds, namely pyridoxine, pyridoxamine, and pyridoxine. Okay, so they are, and all these three are actually the derivative of pyridine. Okay, so the active coenzyme form of B6 is actually pyridoxal pyridoxal phosphate. Okay, which is also known as CLP, and this is conversion of these three derivatives, means this pyridoxine, pyridoxal, and pyridoxamine into the pyridoxal phosphate occurs in the intestine. Okay, so in the intestine, from all these three compounds, pyridoxine, pyridoxal, and pyridoxamine, they get converted or get activated into the pyridoxal phosphate. Okay, so this pyridoxal phosphates serve as an active coenzyme in several reactions, metabolic process, which is associated with the amino acid metabolism. It includes transamination, decarboxylation, heme synthesis, deamination, and production of niacin. Here we can see that it is step 1. Okay, 1. Here it actually serves as a coenzyme in the transamination process. Here also in the transamination process. Here in the 2. Decarboxylation, and then here in the 3, the heme synthesis. Okay, so this coenzyme have a function in the amino acid metabolism. Now the deficiency, there is a one drug, okay, isoniazid. Isoniazid is a drug which is given to the patient which have the mycobacterial tuberculosis infection, okay, or the individual which have a tuberculosis. So what happened, this anti-tuberculous drug actually it inhibits the pyridoxal phosphate formation from the pyridoxine. Okay, so what happened, so because it prevents the formation of the pyridoxal phosphate, so because of person if take the isoniazid, it shows the symptoms of the or it develops the deficiency of pyridoxal. Okay, then some the oral contraceptive pills, okay, they also bind to the pyridoxal phosphate and inactivate this coenzyme. So these two drugs, they cause the deficiency. Now the deficiency manifestation, they have the neurological, dermatological, as well as the hematological manifestation. In the neurological manifestation, convulsion and demyelination of the nerves. Convulsion means basically the epileptic seizures. Okay, they are also a form of convulsion. In convulsion, what happened? There is a repeated and a fast, uncontrolled movement of the muscles. Okay, so which result into the uncontrolled movement of the body parts. So this is the convulsion. And demyelination of the nerve is, demyelination is the means removal of the or degradation of the myelin in the nerve cells. Okay, so these two conditions occur due to the deficiency of pyridoxal phosphate. Then pellagra, which is not formed because if there is a deficiency of vitamin B6, what happened? Tryptophan will not all. Then the niacin is also not get formed from the tryptophan. Okay, so it also associated with the niacin deficiency. Okay, then hematological manifestation, it caused the hypochromic microcytic anemia. The hypochromic means it have paler color than the normal RBC, and microcytic means they are smaller, the RBC cells. Okay, the RBCs are smaller than the normal. Okay, so because of the smaller and paler red blood cells, it leads to the anemia, and that anemia occurs due to the inhibition of the heme synthesis, which is because this pyridoxal phosphate or the PLP actually act as a coenzyme in the heme synthesis reaction. Now, the dietary source. The yeast, rice polishing, wheat germ, cereals, legumes, oilseed, eggs, meat, milk, fish, and green leafy vegetable. All these are the very good source of vitamin B6 or pyridoxine. Okay. Now, vitamin B5 or pantothenic acid. Okay, so the word panthos have the Greek origin. It means everywhere. Okay, so this vitamin B5 is distributed widely in the nature. Okay, it widely distributed in the nature, and this pantothenic acid contains the beta alanine and d-pantoic acid through the amide linkage. This is the structure of the pantothenic acid. Okay. Now the coenzyme activity, it actually transfer the acyl group. Okay. It here you can see the acetyl coenzyme A plus choline. Now the acetyl is transferred to the choline. Okay. So this is the coenzyme activity of the pantothenic acid. There is another example of pyruvate, then coenzyme A, then NAD. Here the acetyl is group is transferred on the coenzyme A. Okay, there is some other derivative like acetyl coenzyme A, succinyl coenzyme A. Okay, then beta hydroxy, beta methyl glutaryl coenzyme A, and then acyl coenzyme A. Now the deficiency, there are several clinical manifestation. It causes pin and needle pain, burning and lightning pain in the legs and hands, okay, soles, then staggering gait, it means imbalance during the walking, okay, then sleep disturbance, okay. And this deficiency is very rare in human because the gut bacteria they use to synthesize pantothenic acid. Okay, but it is found in this deficiency is occurs in uh, the prison camps. Okay, the person who have taking the alcohol in the chronic manner, the person who is on renal dialysis. Okay, so, then in some experimental animal, this deficiency also resulted into the anemia. Okay, then reduce steroidogenesis, fatty liver, dermatitis, adrenal necrosis, but its deficiency manifestation is rare in human. Okay, now these are some of the sources. As I have told, it is synthesized by normal bacterial flora in the intestine, although it is widely distributed in the plants and animals, and its deficiency is very rare. Liver, yeast, and eggs are the good source of vitamin B5. Now, the another vitamin, that is the biotin. Okay, so this biotin act as a coenzyme for carboxylation reaction. Okay, it basically transfer the activated carboxyl group to the substrate. Here we see this is the Barton enzyme which actually transfer this CO2 to the substrate. So it's basically carboxylate the substrate. Okay, these are some of the reaction. Okay, where this Barton actually transfer the CO2 like acetyl coenzyme to manosyl coenzyme A, propanol to methyl manosyl coenzyme A, pyruvate to oxaloacetate. Okay, these are some of the examples. Now the deficiency. Okay, if someone is on the prolonged use of antibacterial drugs, okay, they used to develop the deficiency of vitamin B7. Then there are some other symptoms like dermatitis, atrophic glossitis, okay, muscle pain, hallucinations. Okay, now the source. As I have, this is the normal bacterial flora in the gut will provide the adequate amount of biotin. Okay, but it is also widely distributed in the plants and animal tissue. And liver, meat, peanuts, soya bean, milk, egg yolk are the rich source of biotin. Now, vitamin 9, which is also known as folic acid. Okay, so this is the folic acid deficiency is the most common vitamin deficiency, which is particularly found among the pregnant females. Okay, here we see this folic acid is composed of three constituents, that is petridine, which is linked with the PABA, or the para-aminobenzoic acid, which is called petroic acid. Okay, so this petroic acid, when petridine and para-aminobenzoic acid is linked together, they form the petroic acid. This petroic acid is then attached to the glutamate to form the folic acid. Okay, so the active form of folic acid is actually tetrahydrofolic acid, or THF. Okay, so this is, so the tetrahydrofolic acid is the active coenzyme form. Okay, and it is involved in the one carbon metabolism. Okay, this tetrahydrofolate serve as an acceptor or donor of the one carbon unit like formyl or methyl unit in variety of reactions of amino acid and nucleotide metabolism. Okay, so these are some one carbon compound, okay, that are actually transferred by this folic acid like methyl, methanol and methylene, okay, or formyl. So this is basically involved in the amino acid and nucleotide metabolism. Okay, now the deficiency. Okay, during the pregnancy, the requirement of the folic acid is high because there is a fast dividing cells. Okay, so the pregnant woman used to develop the deficiency of this folic acid. Then if a person have absence of the vegetables in the diet, they also used to develop the deficiency of folic acid. Then there is a drug which is an anti-cancerous drug is methotrexate. Okay, it also inhibits the dihydrofolate reductase. Okay, so there is no formation of the tetrahydrofolate. Okay, so that leads to the deficiency. Then even vitamin B12 deficiency also cause the deficiency of B9. Okay, now what are the clinical manifestation of the vitamin B9 or the folic acid deficiency? The number one is the macrocytic anemia. Anemia means there is a large distorted RBC with immature nucleus are formed. Okay, then it also associated with the neural tube defects, okay, during the early pregnancy, which leads to the neural tube defect in the fetus. Okay, now here you can see that the smaller size are the normal RBCs and these are the bigger size RBCs, okay, or the macroblastic RBCs. Now the source of folic acid, the yeast and the green leafy vegetables are the good source of folic acid. Then the cereals, pulses, oilseed and eggs, they also have a very good source of folic acid. Now the last vitamin of the vitamin B complex is the cobalamin. Okay, so here we can see the structure of the cobalamin. It have 4 corin rings, 1, 2, 3 and 4. Okay, so cobalamin, it contains 4 corin ring with 4 pyrrole rings. Okay. Then it have the cobalt in the center. Okay. So there are two active coenzyme forms of the cobalamin. One is the deoxyadenosine cobalamin and another is the methyl cobalamin. Okay. So the absorption of B12, okay, from the diet, it actually required one glycoprotein which is known as a intrinsic factor. Okay, and this intrinsic factor is produced in the stomach in the presence of HCl. Okay, and it is stored in the liver in the form of deoxyadenosine cobalamin. Okay. Now, the biochemical function, it actually involved in the synthesis of methionine from homocysteine, and thus if there is a deficiency of the B12, it resulted in the decrease of the tetrahydrofolate that also reduced the nucleotide and DNA synthesis. Okay. So it has some of the neurological manifestation. Now the cause of deficiency. So vitamin B12 is mainly present in the animal diet. So the vegetarian people who don't used to have non-veg diet, okay, they used to develop the deficiency of the vitamin B12. Okay, then the person who have gone through the gastrectomy or who have the malabsorption disease, they also develop the deficiency of vitamin B12. Then pernicious anemia, okay, is also caused due to the deficiency of B12, because in this condition the antibodies are formed against the intrinsic factor or the glycoprotein that is involved in the absorption of the vitamin B12 from the food to the body. Okay, then the pregnant and lactating women, they also develop the deficiency due to high demand. Then the alcoholism also cause the deficiency. Then two main clinical manifestation of this B12 deficiency is megaloblastic anemia and the degeneration of the nervous system due to the degradation of myelin.